Think if you owned a restaurant. Just transition this as if you owned a restaurant.
I was about to go there.
It's Jason Ackerman's famous hot dogs.
Welcome back. Best hour of their day. You got Ackerman here, and you've got Markus, because you know what? Fern just wasn't cutting the mustard. Fern, we had to let him go, Markus, and you are in charge now.
It was an unfortunate decision, but I think we're all going to be better off for it, particularly the audience.
Particularly the audience. You know, I was going to say we're live, but now that we go live every Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, I don't want to say we're live anymore because I get it now.
Maybe say we're on.
We're on.
There we go. We're recording.
Tune in, turn on, drop out. Yeah, you are turned on. I can tell. Friday. I could tell that zipper's coming down on your hoodie. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you should be, Markus is slowly getting undressed. And let's dive right into it. This episode is going up right around November 18th, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And we're smack dab in the middle of the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Right? And for a lot of affiliates, this is a tough time of year, right? Holidays are approaching, Thanksgiving, obviously the big one, Hanukkah, just days away at this point. What are you getting? The two kids? Are you celebrating Hanukkah over in that German household?
First of all, it's an Austrian household, so no.
Same thing. I'm gonna send them some. I'm gonna send my girl some Hanukkah presents this year. How's that?
Bring it on.
All right, there we go. Mensch on a bench in the Gerszi household is coming.
Oh, don't do that to me. Those elf on a shelf, mensch on a bench things. It's just so much work.
It's work, and Roz hates it. Like, we have mensch on a bench, and
do you actually do it?
Well, I mean, Madison will only be. She's not even 2, so I actually bought it last year after Hanukkah
for yourself.
I'm Jewish, so you know how things go on sale after the holidays. Right? Like, you can buy all this stuff.
That makes sense.
So I felt like it was so synergistic. Like, the Jewish guy buying the Jewish thing after the Jewish holiday. I was like, this is meant to be. So this will be our first year. But it's a very creepy looking rabbi doll. So
I dig it.
I won't scare your kids with that. But let's dig in. The purpose today. Let's make affiliate owners aware of what the real problem is and how to address it, so it doesn't happen again.
Well, look, let's talk about what inspired this episode. So we are smack dab in the middle of Q4, and the reason why we're doing this is because so many of the affiliate owners that reach out, whether they're inquiring about Affiliate U, or it's people who just got started in Affiliate U and who are turning their gym around, this time of year for most, and for others it's other times of the year, right? It could be. It depends on where you are throughout the country. There's a seasonality. Obviously, the weather makes a big impact. But typically this time of year, attendance is down. Your members and your coaches are checked out in a lot of ways. You're losing more members than you're gaining. And you as an owner are kind of like in this hope and pray mode that you have a strong enough New Year's bump so that you can get caught up from all the losses from Q4. Because for a lot of gyms, basically, as of September, it typically starts to slow down and then go downhill, and then the attrition is radically outpacing the acquisition on the front end, right? So the problem with this is that you're experiencing this decline, and most gym owners don't understand what it is. And then they start kind of just grasping at straws, and they start getting desperate. And this is when a lot of people reach out to us, because they're like, either I don't know what's going on, help me. Or in most cases, especially for gym owners who've been at it a while, they're like, I'm getting worn out from this Q4 beatdown that happens every year. And it seems to be getting worse or harder every year. And so that's why we're doing this episode. And I wanted to just kind of lay the foundation, because hopefully if that resonates with you, then this episode is for you.
Yeah, and something you said that we should be clear about, this is seasonal, and it is very much dependent on where you live in the country. I think you, as a box owner in the past, felt Q4 because you're in sunny California, so it's nice year round, but then this is really indicative of the holidays, where for me, when I had my 3 affiliates in upstate New York, like it was really my summertime. Like every summer it was like this massive lull, and it's because we get three months of sun. Like I don't want to be inside at the gym.
Right,
Holiday time was like booming.
Totally, right.
Hey, I do have let me ask you this question. A lot of our clients are experiencing this, and I want to hear your opinion on it. I feel a lot of our clients are telling us evening times in general right now are a little bit lower attended than they used to be.
Right.
What's your opinion on that? And I'm not talking just Q4. I'm just saying, right. In general, we hear that often.
That often is also largely influenced by the weather and or depending on your demographic. If you've got families, what tends to happen is that in the summertime, especially like, for example, for us at Active, what would happen is in the summertime as it gets really hot, people don't want to train when it's as hot. And the days are longer, so people would be willing to kind of come in a little bit later. So our early mornings and our late nights, like later evening classes, would really compress or get compacted when those other classes would get lighter. Where then when it would shift and it would start to cool down, which, I mean, for us in California, we're pretty weak when it comes to the weather. It's like it drops below 60.
It's
and
under 70. I was going to say 70, but yeah.
But at the box, it would legit get like really cold. It would be like low 40s inside the gym in the mornings in the wintertime. And because we're pretty close to the beach and it gets pretty chilly. But what would happen is like the opposite effect is that then people would come back. Now the days are shorter and people would kind of come back to that like 5:30 would be back our peak time, our 6 and our 6:30 and our 7. Like those class times would be the busiest, right? So it would shift. However, you layer in then for also, like I said, the demographic piece, because you've got a lot of people with kids in sports, in school schedules, and so much of that stuff is shifting. And particularly after the last couple of years in particular, I find a lot of people having to really reinvent their routines and their schedules because yes, you've got kids in sports and in schools, but some parents are homeschooling more than they used to be or a part of alternative programs. You've got parents who work from home either permanently now and, the schedule is just totally different, or they have these like flex schedules where it's like, oh, well, I go in 2 days a week and 3. So there's a lot of moving targets at the moment. And what I kind of lean back onto is like, yes, there's going to be fluctuations. The red flag though is attendance down overall. And that is really what I wanted to talk about today, because there are things that you can do to maybe not completely eliminate it, but you can definitely reduce how much the seasonality impacts the business and therefore your bottom line as a gym owner, because it can get really scary when you're looking at your revenue going down and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm going into the holidays. Like, how am I going to afford the holidays, let alone like get my staff anything? And it's actually a really great time of year to lean into, coaches development and all of that. But we'll get more into that in a second.
Well, and like you're kind of implying, it's whether or not we're being reactionary versus proactive.
100%.
And, Fern and I, we're breaking down the level 1 manual on Wednesdays, and one of the things we're going to dive into, and we talk about it often, is lesson plans, right? Like showing up to your class with a plan. And then for some reason, affiliate owners, it's like, they dig it. They're like, cool, I like that idea. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make all my coaches do it. But then they run this business with no lesson plan. And basically the same, it's a microcosm, right? The same lesson plan you apply to this 1 hour. You were on the show a couple of weeks ago and we just, talked in general about, your schedule, but you should be applying that same lesson plan mentality to the whole business.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the real problem, is that the gym owner is in this reactionary state instead of having a plan, right? And it's like when we explain this to people in Affiliate U and we guide them through the process of planning all this kind of stuff out, which we'll share with you guys here in a sec, but it's like this light bulb goes off and they're like, oh, I never thought about applying that here in the business. But I do it in the classes, right? Because just like for coaching, when you go from not using a lesson plan to using a lesson plan, you're like, oh my God, I'm so much better at this now. Like you deliver such a better class because you're prepared. You have created a plan. You have set yourself up for success. Yet, when you look at the business, so many people don't understand that you can do the exact same thing for the business, and it can make a huge difference for you. And at very least, like I said, you may not be able to eliminate it because, like you, upstate New York, it's summertime. Everyone's like, I'm outside, I'm socializing, I'm going out. That does not mean that you can completely eliminate the problem, but you can definitely circumvent what is like the membership cancellations and holds and bring it down and still keep people engaged enough to not put the business behind. Maybe instead of declining, you're just breaking even for Q4 or whatever that tough season is. And that's a win. As long as I'm not going backwards and having to then catch back up, you're in a great spot. What we don't want is that in the summer or in the winter that you're contracting so much that you start losing members and going backwards for several months in a row. And then when you're just hoping that whenever your rush season is or your busy season, that you can cover enough ground to get out of the hole, let alone have a chance to grow and hit your growth goals.
Yeah, the value of a lesson plan for a class is, spoiler alert, shit is going to go sideways when you coach, right? Someone's coming in late, a machine breaks, right? You didn't account for this strength piece, whatever that looks like. The value of the lesson plan is cool. I know when I need to start this workout. I know what time I need to finish. Same thing's going to happen at your business. So you're just suggesting, hey, we know Q4 or Q2 or Q3, whatever that is, you're going to have some issues. So let's be preventative. Let's have this plan so when things do go sideways, we're prepared. And I'll give you an example. Knowing July and August in upstate New York was like, man, 5 o'clock rolls around. It's people are getting off work. The sun is still shining. Little league, everything's going on. We reduced our schedule for 2 months a year, right?
Yep.
Like the last class of the day, I want to say it was like 4:30. Cool. Now be free. Go and I think part of it is with the members like didn't feel like obligated. Like, oh, I can't even go in at that time. Now I don't feel bad for not going in. They're accepting that, and they also, because we reduced the calendar, made a greater effort to come in earlier in the day. So like you said, it wasn't that, yes, the evening classes were less attendance, so we accounted for that, but overall attendance was still the same. It was just consolidated you know, into a different schedule.
So that's a really good solution because it does more than just save the gym money. Because one of the big problems or one of the big side effects of this happening in your gym is that the energy and the vibe wanes.
That's a big one.
And that sucks, right? You want your gym to feel magnetic, right? That's one of the things that we talk about in Affiliate U a lot. We want to make it magnetic. It should be pulling in, not neutral or repelling. And a lot of gyms don't realize, or a lot of gym owners don't realize that they are actually neutral or repelling, and they wonder why it's not working. It's because there's nothing magnetic and fun and exciting about being at your physical location. Like it should be something where someone gets there and it feels like, oh, I'm here. It's like, I'm here with all my favorite people. The vibe is high. And when everyone is checked out and the vibe is low because class attendance is lower, people are showing up, what used to be like a 12 or 16 person class is 3 people. That's a bummer. And you consolidating the classes temporarily during those seasons, it makes the classes more full again. And we want it to feel as fun and exciting as possible. That's one of the things we want to lean into to solve the problem is make the place more fun. You got to make it something that people want to keep coming back to. So even if they're, instead of coming 4 days a week, they're now coming 2 days a week, I'm okay with that. Life is busy for you this season. I get it. Let's not completely fall off the wagon. Let's dial it back. Maybe it's even a couple weeks or a month of 1 or 2 days a week just to keep your hand in, and then we'll scale it back up. Right. But we don't want the person putting their membership on hold or being like, I got to kind of reevaluate my schedule. You know what? I'll take the next couple months off and I'll come back in the new year. They probably won't. And the reason that happens is because your program probably isn't as good or as fun as you think it is. And that is the real answer. And there's several other things that we want to, when we talk about as far as like how to remedy this, right? But it's one of the things that kind of stings when we get people in the program, one of the things that we do in Affiliate U is, obviously we do the business, the sales, marketing, operations, but a big factor for us is helping you actually improve your program, your service, your experience that you are providing, because it is the other half of the equation, right? You can be amazing at sales, marketing, and operations, but if your program sucks and you're a service-based business, you're just not going to do great.
That's the truth that no affiliate owners want to hear. And they come up with every excuse. It's the programming. It's this. It's the pricing. It's that. Like the box down the road, people are going there for those reasons. At the end of the day, there's one factor. And if people are leaving your affiliate to go to another one, it's simply because they're having more fun over there. That's it.
Let me ask you a question. And this is going to be, we've talked about this before, but I want to ask you this on the air. You have visited countless affiliates. Yes?
Hundreds. Yeah, hundreds.
Yes. And you have dropped in and taken classes all over the world from all walks of life. Yes?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're brand new to coaching, 10 being you are Jason Ackerman, level 4 world famous coach.
That's fair. Fair 10. Yep.
1 to 10. On average, what would you rate most coaches when you go drop in a box? What would you score them on average as far as how good they're coaching? How good did they run that class?
The number that immediately popped into my head was a 4.
That's exactly right. So Jim,
is that right? That there was a right answer to that?
Well, it's something that because we had talked about it. I asked Fern the same question offline when we were hanging out. I think it was.
What did he say?
Somewhere. Same thing.
He said 4?
And I said the same thing.
Oh, I don't like when Fern and I agree on something. This scares me.
You got to
very upset right now.
It's not too late. Let it.
A 10 is a 10 an option.
But the moral to this point is that your program, and he said this, actually, this is where it happened, is one time during a seminar, or one of the seminars that we've been doing with the affiliate owners, he said, weightlifting is akin to, or coaching is akin to weightlifting. You think you're way better at it than you actually are.
Yeah.
And every time he said that during the seminar, and this is kind of where that conversation came from, everyone kind of goes, oh, because the truth is, when we talk to affiliate owners and they reach out and we say, what are your strengths? What are the things that set you apart, right? What are your advantages right now? Oh, it's the coaching and community. Like 9 times out of 10, that's what they say. Oh, well, we're really good at delivering the thing. But when you know how good it can actually be, like you guys do, like we do, then, and you go in and we would actually give you a 4 out of 10. What does that tell you about your service? It could get a lot better.
Yeah.
And that
lots of room
I'm willing to bet quite a few of your challenges would be resolved completely. Your acquisition challenges. Oh, well, we have a referral program. No one refers anybody. I've tried that marketing thing. It doesn't work. Retention's a problem. No one's buying our premium services, or our, retail sales are $500 a month. Those are all side effects of your program not being good enough. And it is one of the main factors that when the season gets tough and life gets busy, if your program is not making someone say, this is literally the best thing in my life. Like this is my happy place. I work hard. I raise my kids. I've got life, but this is the place that I come to 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week to do something positive for myself. I feel great when I leave here. I'm with my people. I've got a coach who knows their shit, who's taking care of me and helping me navigate life and my old shoulder thing or whatever crops up, and helps me keep indefinitely getting better at fitness. Right? That's what we want to be. That is the intention of a CrossFit box, right? It's the magic the opportunity we have. Yet when you just kind of brush that aside and assume that you're better at it than you are, and the outside factors start to get louder, guess what? If you're not actually as good at it, you start seeing that attrition happen. And that is a hard truth for a lot of people to hear. Now, it's not the only part of the remedy, right? But it's a great opportunity that this time of year, things are kind of slowing down a little bit. Everyone's starting to get a little distracted, right? Including your staff, right? Your staff is, life is getting busy for them too.
Yeah, they have holidays too. They have kids too.
Totally. And
you're paying them $8 an hour, right? Right? Just to miss Thanksgiving.
And that's another conversation.
Yes.
But the thing is that they're coming into a gym where the vibe is decreasing. You're stressed out because you're losing money. It's not an attractive place, right? For anybody, really. So it's a great time to lean into your staff and say, all right, guys, this is the time of year. Let's focus on making the classes as fantastic as possible. Let's zoom back in. If you haven't been doing your coach evals, step up the volume of your coach evals. Run more coaches development with your staff. Focus on making them better at the craft. Build the team and the culture. Make it something fun. Do things together to bring the energy up, because it all goes downstream. If your team is excited about being there and delivering great classes and they're feeling like they're improving, so every class they're really leaning into it, you're evaluating, guess what? It gets better and the overall vibe elevates. Your gym starts to become more magnetic. And if you pair that attention on service with planning out your events, doing more fun specialty cycles, right? Pick something that's sexy for your community, right? Like everyone loves a good gymnastics specialty cycle. Hey, we're going to do 8 weeks of focusing on our pull-ups or our muscle ups. We're going to do a workshop and we're going to make it amazing. And then, hey guys, we're going to do some supplemental stuff, or we've got these little daily challenges at the gym. Engage. Make it fun. Make it exciting beyond even just the core thing. Throw a rad holiday party. Think about it. I'm going to make this the best, most fun part of the year. That is how you have to treat it, from the classes to the events that you're doing. It should be, and it can be. And when you do, it is what will help make this better, because the only way that happens is by making a plan and being prepared. Don't wing it. This should be planned earlier in the year. With our affiliates, we work and we lay out an entire year at a time. And then we have them go through it again at the end of it. But you can, if you're listening to this and you're not working with us yet, then do this on your own. Start a quarter in advance. Plan your Q4 at the end of Q2. Be 2 quarters ahead. So you're not, okay, it's Q3. What are we doing in Q3? It should be, it's Q3. We already had this planned out. Wheels are already in motion for many of these things. We've been planning and preparing. Treat it that way and just get ahead. Lay it out. What are we going to do to make the service better? What are we going to do to make the culture better, team and members? What are we going to do to make this overall thing more fun? What other engaging events and things can we layer in and properly promote and deliver on, right? Again, don't throw spaghetti at the wall here. Like, prepare, have a plan, and execute well, and watch what will happen. It doesn't take more money. It doesn't take more anything. What it does is it takes intention and it takes execution.
Hey guys, real quick, we just wanted to share a video from one of our amazing Affiliate U clients. Fern and I, along with the Best Hour team, have been able to help hundreds of affiliate owners and thousands of coaches level up and create successful businesses. And stories like this are the reason why we do it.
My name is Kate Schultz, and I am the owner of CrossFit ELC. In January of 2022, we started really looking for mentorship within our business. The adversity that COVID had created, what we were doing before couldn't withstand that adversity. We were winging it. And as Fern would say, passion has a shelf life, and we felt that at CrossFit ELC, and our passion was still there, but it was dwindling because we didn't have systems. We didn't have the other side of that scale of we are passionate and we love helping people, and this is how we do that. We were missing that piece. That's where Affiliate U came in and really changed the game for us. We were burnt out as coaches. I am a young mom, so I have two kids under 2, and running an affiliate and managing coaches and members and all of that, I had no systems in place to set me up for success in that. And I didn't have systems in place to set my coaches and my members up for success in doing that. And so Affiliate U has really bridged that gap for us and has given us the opportunity to build in systems into our affiliate in a way that works for us and in a way that puts us in a direction of success and growth for all involved. And that's been really exciting.
I love it. And I want to say something, and I want to ask you a follow-up question. But, Fern was recently in town. We shot a ton of videos. We've got some great stuff coming out in our professional development curriculum, which is a year long. People sign up for Affiliate University. They get business development, much of which you've designed. And they also get professional development, which is exclusive to Best Hour, right? We're the only company helping you develop as a business, but then also saying, like you just alluded to, it's like your product matters equally, not a little bit, like equally. You could have the best business mind running behind the scenes. If people show up and it's not fantastic, it doesn't matter. And vice versa. You could be a level 4 all day. If you're disorganized behind the scenes, that doesn't matter. But, we filmed all the new content, which we're super excited for our clients to, starting January 3rd, our brand new professional development curriculum kicks off. So if anyone's on the fence, new semester begins January 3rd. But while we were filming, we did some dropping ins. We went to ELM, which is outside of Denver. We went to Mafia in Erie, and we went to Trailhead in Golden. And let me tell you, those classes were amazing. And one of the biggest criticisms CrossFit gets to this day is I can't just send people to any CrossFit because they're all different. And for the record, that's true. You can send people to a really bad CrossFit, but I will tell you, with confidence, if my mom was moving to one of those 3 areas, I'd be like, you have to join that gym. Oh, it's more expensive? I don't care, because you're gonna spend money doing something else because you're not getting the value there. It could be 5x the cost, but you're going to get so much more value out of it. And I want to tell a story from ELM, and you're going to see it in the dropping in episode, which is coming out in the new year. We went to ELM, Brandon, Malka, Dre, they own it. I said Marka. And man, she coached us through Mary. And you're going to see it in this episode. She coached us so well. Let me tell you this. She coached us so well. I went in there. I'm like, I'm going to scale it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do pistols. She scaled it so well that the next 3-4 days, I was demolished. She didn't scale it well. She coached it so well. I was demolished. And I was demolished because she got me so warmed up, so prepared, feeling so good that I did more than my 44-year-old body should have done, right? I did 11 rounds of Mary, nothing to write home about. I've done more in the past, but man, 165 pull-ups, 55 handstand push-ups, right? And if you would have told me ahead of time, you're doing Mary, I'd be like, maybe I'll do 6 or 7 rounds. I'll probably scale the pistols. But that's what good coaching does. And, I joked that I was demolished. I was demolished because she did such a good job that I had such a great experience. And not only that, let me tell you, she was on my ass during the movements as well. So I never felt for a second I can, not get below parallel or not drive my knees out or not sit back on my heels, because she was just coaching her ass off. And she had note cards. And I was like, that was so awesome. You showed up. I said, do you have note cards all the time? And that to me was just a normal class. We happened to be there, but that was just a normal class. And that's what you should be doing. Because my follow-up question to you, Markus, is I said 4, Fern said 4 again. Scary that Fern and I think the same thing. However, when all these affiliate owners listening, all these coaches listening, how many of them do you think, oh, this is like when we talk about nutrition, oh, you have a gluten intolerance. I don't. Maybe this guy does, maybe that guy does, but I'm good. I don't have a gluten. And we're like, no. You're just so used to having gluten that you forget. Yeah. So how many affiliate owners or coaches are like, yeah, they're talking that it's a 4, but we're the box that's a 10.
Yeah. Almost all of them.
Yeah.
I, like you, have dropped into hundreds and hundreds of boxes. And it's always a treat. I enjoy it. And I say this because I'm not saying this to criticize. It's simply what it is. Because once you know how good it can be, right? You've been to a Michelin star restaurant and you're like, I know how good a steak or a ribeye can be made. And then you're calling this the best steak in the city. And I'm like, that's an okay steak at best, right? And
past the horseradish, by the way.
Extra horseradish for me. And yeah, I would say the same thing. I would give it a 4, and most don't realize it. And I say this honestly for myself. I had this experience myself as a box owner where I thought in our little microcosm, our little area, we were pretty damn good. Everyone complimented us on the coaching and the class experience. And we were doing well as a box. All things were good. You know, we put a lot of time and energy into our craft. And so I thought we were kind of hot shit. And the reality was then I went and I started dropping into a lot of boxes, and I had some classes that were run by some seminar staff. And I was like, oh, this is
that's what good is.
Completely different level than what we were like bragging about at our gym, because I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. That doesn't make us bad. It just means, oh, I didn't know I could be so much better. And it completely raised the bar. So now it was like, well, I don't want to do the crappy version like what I was doing relative to what I now know. So I started chasing a new level. And that's the point. And that is why we do the professional development with our clients. And by the way, it's not just the owner we're taking it. We take your entire team through this because it's a whole team thing. You're
unlimited.
Right.
Any coach on your staff can join.
And that's the point, because you're only as good as your weakest class. So if your classes are not fire all the time, right? You maybe as the owner are fantastic. Maybe you deliver an 8 regularly, a 9 sometimes when you're feeling great, right? But your AM coach is delivering a 4 consistently. That is how you are being judged. And that is a major problem within your business that may not feel like a major problem. Think if you owned a restaurant. Just transition this as if you owned a restaurant.
I was about to go there.
It's Jason Ackerman's famous hot dogs.
Wait. Before you get Ross, what was the name of that place we went to where I got that steak and the service was really bad? Remember we went a couple months ago? And the service was that. Yeah, see? She knows. I said service was bad. She's like, oh, what was it? We forgot the name. That's how bad it was. Chart House.
Remember I said I could have told you that. Most chart houses aren't good. But
I sent you a picture of that steak?
Yes.
And with the horseradish?
Yep.
The dinner was fucking delicious. Amazing. Dessert, etc. The service was so bad that we were like, we're never coming back. Or maybe at best we give it a second try in the future. But I think that's where you were going with this restaurant analogy.
It's this. Imagine if you owned, we'll say Jason Ackerman's world famous burgers. Okay, we won't use hot dogs.
No, I like hot dogs.
You like hot dogs? Okay. Jason
kosher.
Ackerman's world famous weenies. So
kosher weenies. I think you just set me up for my backup plan for best hour.
Merry Christmas. And imagine you're known for this really delicious small weenie that you sell. And
hey, you know, there's that. All right,
average weenies. But they're delicious.
Weenies.
Okay, they're delicious. And imagine if this is what your whole reputation. The sign says world famous weenies, but your morning chef, because you only like doing the afternoons. You've been in business a while. You come in and you're like, I do the evening shift. I deliver. But your morning chef or cook, weenie artisan or whatever you want to call him, is delivering an inconsistent weenie.
Inconsistent weenies is not good.
It's a major problem in more ways than people understand. But what I'm getting at is that delivery, people are coming in experiencing you for the first time in the mornings. People are coming in or are members and they're like, it wasn't for me. I tried his weenies. I went there for a while, but it's just
the number of people that have
sometimes it's bad.
Tried my weenie and never come back is very high.
By the way, this is also this all applies to your sex life also.
Very much.
But the lesson here is that if if you are delivering a thing that you want to be known for, then you want to make sure it's always consistently great. Like the description you gave about Mafia, about the boxes that you went and visited, they knocked your socks off. Guys, there are people doing that every class, every day. And that is our goal for you, is to make it that good, because it can be that good. And when it is that good consistently, guess what? It takes a lot of the pressure off of your marketing needs and sales needs and your retention problems and selling more product. This is what turns people on. It gets them, like, again, it creates that magnetic, give me more. What else do you have for me? Give me. And they're literally dragging people in by the hair to be like, just come and experience this shit. It is incredible. That is what is possible in a great CrossFit gym. And when you combine the two sides of the house, because it's 50% service, 50% business systems. The business systems, you've got a very clearly articulated message and offer and process for attracting new people. They come in, they get a great experience. It's fast, it's personable, it's high quality, great sales experience. The memberships make sense. The prices and the perceived value is higher than what you're charging, even if you want to charge a lot. That, again, misconception. You can charge what you want as long as the perceived value is higher, and you're able to deliver that. You show them the thing, and they just fall in love, and the service is just 10 out of 10. Guess what? That is our definition of a world-class affiliate. People ask, well, what does it mean to be a world-class affiliate? That seems just something to say. And by the way, I feel like people have been kind of beating the crap out of world-class lately. I'm seeing it all over the place. But our definition specifically is that both sides are growing together. Both sides are improving, right? To where you are actively, intentionally developing the business system, sales, marketing, operations, and you are actively improving your service experience and your team. Both are great. That is what a world-class affiliate is. And that is what we strive for. That is our end goal for everyone that we get to work with.
Yeah, and to the point, there's affiliates within 5 minutes of just about everybody these days. And I'd be willing to drive the 30 minutes to any of those affiliates. Dude, simply because it's such a better product.
I drive over 20 minutes. I pass like 5 gyms to go to my gym, which is, by the way, my old gym. My head coach at the time now owns it. Shout out to Ryan Chavez. And he just does it better. He just delivers a better experience. So where do I go? I don't go there because it's my old gym. That's just a happy coincidence because I get to hang out with people that I've seen and trained with for a long time. But if there were a better gym closer, I would go there.
Okay. But Markus has 2 kids. He works 17 hours a day.
That's
right. Like,
but I work hard.
Average. but
on my good days,
on your good day. But it'd be much easier to save 40 minutes of commute time to devote elsewhere, is what we're saying. And there's a lot of people experience it.
1 mile from my house. Right.
You could walk there significantly faster than you drive. And I want to throw 3 shout outs out to the gyms. And by the way, like we said, in January, you're going to see dropping in episodes at 2 of them. We've already done a dropping in Mafia. Go back and look at it. And we've got Brittany as well as the owners of ELM on the podcast in January.
Yeah.
Brittany, owner of CrossFit Mafia, seminar staff. She's going to talk all about her story of getting on seminar staff. And let me tell you what it entailed. Fucking hard work. Hard work, rejection, perseverance. And it's no wonder that I show up to her class and she's just a fantastic coach. Right. And it's no wonder that if you follow CAP programming, you see Brittany's face often because she knows what she's talking about. And it's easy to be like, well, she's on seminar staff, great class. Listen to her story of how she got on there. Because it's not just like, it doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's a lot of effort that now makes her not only a red shirt, but a fantastic coach. We went to Trailhead, where Justin and Erica took over from a previous owner. They weren't the coach. This girl, Erin Murphy, was. She was fantastic. But here's what happened. Immediately after class, Markus, what do you think she did?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Ask you to leave?
She did that. She certainly didn't ask to see my average weenies. But what she did do was say, hey, Fern Ackerman, what do you got for me? Can I get some feedback? What would you have done differently? Right? And it was like, we gave it to her. But the number of times I've dropped into an affiliate, they know that I'm a level 4, they know our bit, like, and they're just like, cool. They assume they're good. She immediately, it was like class ended, we had a huddle about what could have been done differently. And then at ELM, like I said, she shows up with note cards, literal note cards. Like, what am I going to, like, all three of them, again, going back to the affiliate owners and coaches that assume they're not the 4. No. You're the 4. It's, right? If you're not sure who's getting hustled or what's that Boca expression,
something like
it's
that,
you. And if you immediately thought I'm not a 4, you're wrong about that. And if you're the same affiliate owner that's like, man, we're struggling to grow, this box, that, like, be introspective, like, look in the mirror, and maybe it's a reflection of the product you're offering.
100%. And again, I just want to, as you said, that you're 100% right. To just pair it to that, remember, this isn't a judgment on you. This is simply the reality of there is better. You are capable of more. And you, your coaches, and particularly your members, all deserve it. You all deserve for you to work and get better. Because when you do, you will become greater at your craft. Your business will grow as a side effect. You will set a higher bar for your team, make your team better, which ultimately all translates into the whole reason that you open this business, which is you will make a greater, more profound impact in your marketplace by changing more people's lives through fitness, because you are just flat out better at the thing. And when you are that good at the thing, even when people hated working out, they come to your gym and they're like, I've hated working out. I have tried and failed so many times. You have made getting in the most amazing shape fun for the first time in my life. Now you're winning. You have just won the game. Everybody wins. The business owner makes a great living doing what they love. The coaches have an environment where they're constantly improving. They're striving for excellence. They're actually getting compensated in a way that they can build a career doing what they're doing, so they stick around. And your members are getting their socks knocked off on the hour, every hour, and never leaving your gym because they are overwhelmed by the value and the impact that your business has. And guess what? To come full circle, how different do you think your slow seasons will be? Less holds, less cancellations. You will still, if not continue to grow, maybe at a slower rate, still be positive, but at very least maybe breaking even rather than bleeding members and then wondering how you're going to pay the bills or put gifts under the Christmas tree or next to the Hanukkah candles. When you get to the holidays, right? Hoping and praying that the new year is going to be successful. So I encourage you guys, take an honest look. If the business is struggling, if you experience this stuff, there are lots of resources out there on how you can improve the business systems and how you can improve the program and be more proactive. But most importantly, sit down, make a plan, get ahead of it, and start executing. And if you need help, we're here to help. Plenty of other people available out there to help as well. This is what we eat, sleep, and dream. We love what we do. And hit us up if you need some help.
Hey, Marcus, did you hear that?
What are those, your mice in the background?
No.
Pet mice? That's
the sound of thousands of best hour listeners, really, how much better you are at this than Jason Fernandez.
Sorry, Fern.
You're fired.
We already fired him.